Okay? It was approximately October 28th, 1968. See, I can remember the date explicitly. I was drafted, and I was 22 years old. 3 months of basic training, actually not quite, more like 2.5 months, I guess, basic training, which all military gets. Then I went into advanced individual training, which was RVN, Republic of Vietnam Infantry Training. And I did that for 2.5 months also. Upon completion of those, and a 30-day, actually it was not 30 days, close to 30 days leave, after being in the Army from October 28th until April 15th, I was sent to Vietnam for a 1-year tour of duty in Vietnam in the infantry. I was an RTO, as it was called, radio telephone operator, in a company for the 1st Infantry Division, and we were on operation. I was actually a platoon. I was an RTO for a platoon sergeant. Platoon was, I think it was 40 people, I forget now. I think it was approximately 40 people in a platoon, and he was the sergeant for the platoon. He kept in touch with the other platoons. I was not very pro-war. I was certainly not pro-war for Vietnam. It had in the United States received, it had changed where it was, originally it was kind of in favor, the public was in favor of it, but 1968, they had turned very opposed to it because the war had escalated, and there were 500,000 troops in Vietnam close to it at that point in time. So I was not pro-war, but I was an American. I felt it was my duty to serve, so I didn't try not to or try to get out of it or anything like that. I actually spent 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. The first tour of duty, I was in the infantry. Second tour of duty, because I volunteered to go back, I was actually in personnel, and I had a very good job going back. Once I got out of the military, it didn't seem like I was very well received back at home, except by people that I knew. People that knew me before I went to Vietnam, they were still friends with me for the most part. They knew me. And that was fine. People that I did not know before that, I did not feel very well received by them. As a result of that, probably for 20, 25 years after I was back from Vietnam, I let very few people know that I had served in Vietnam. I took little or no pride in it, and didn't really talk to most people except very close. And actually, some of my close friends didn't even know about it. I certainly did not have any idea what to expect when I got drafted. I didn't know how the training was. I certainly didn't know how dangerous it was. I actually thought it was dangerous, but once I got over there, I had no idea that it was as dangerous as it was. So our company, in the first 30 or 40 days that we were on maneuvers, went from 110 people in the company to somewhere around 70 in the company. And the people that were no longer in the company, and that includes replacements that we had gotten during that time period. So those people had either been dusted off to Japan to be in the hospital, or they had been killed in action. So we were, it was much more dangerous than I'd ever envisioned it to be, even though it looked that bad on TV. But, when you're 22 years old, or 16 or 18 or 20 years old, you don't necessarily, you kind of look at everything through rose-colored glasses, like that couldn't happen to me. And so you don't necessarily believe it's ever going to happen to you. We lived in a fire base, which was a opening at the edge of the jungle that had 3, we had 105, but some had 155 millimeter guns, big guns, 105 millimeter guns that fired pretty much all night long while you were trying to sleep for protection, and they tried to hit rocket launch sites because they had targets they were shooting at. And how many people? Probably had about 30 people that lived in that full time, and we would go in for resupply 1 day a week. So we would chopper in from out in the jungle, our whole company. Usually 4 sorties of helicopters would fly in, and then we'd get resupply of fatigues and food and such for the next 6 days, and we'd chopper back out in the jungle for 6 days. And we did that week after week after week after week. Carried that radio that I carried weighed 25 pounds. The battery for it weighed another couple of pounds, and I carried an extra battery. I carried all my belongings. I carried an M16, 300 rounds of ammunition, 4 smoke grenades, 2 hand grenades, a pound of C4 plastic explosives. What else did I carry? 2 or 3 quarts of water, 6 meals for 6 days. 4 were like MREs, like they were called LRPs back then, long-range patrol food, but they're like MREs. If you go to a place to camp on now, they're called meals ready to eat, so it's basically that type of thing. So you got 4 of those, and you got 2 sea rations for 6 days. It's another reason why I weighed 150 pounds. You got 6 meals a week. So we would go out looking for rocket launching sites. Well, all of us knew that rocket launching sites by the Republic of Vietnam were mobile. They weren't set up permanently. So in the months, and weeks and months that we were out looking for rocket launching sites, we never found one. But our, like A, the city that got rocketed every night, still got rocketed every night, even though we were going out looking for rocket launching sites to find rocket launching sites to keep YK from getting rocketed. So we felt that our total mission, while our numbers were going down and people were getting killed and people were getting injured, we were eating 6 meals a week, all this, we felt like our mission was totally useless. We weren't accomplishing a darn thing. January 6, 1972, completed my second tour of duty. I had been there since December of 70. So I was there about 13 months, second tour of duty, and 12 months first tour of duty. I was home about 4 or 5 months in between. I actually volunteered to go back to Vietnam because I did not like the public feeling towards military in the United States while I was home after my first tour of duty in Vietnam. You've got laptops, you've got phones, you've got all kinds of resources if you're in the military to keep in touch with your family and friends and such. We did not have phones. We did not have internet. We did not have computers. We did not have any source of or any means of keeping in touch with family, friends, etc., other than writing for the 12-month tour of duty that we served.